I have with me Mr. CVR Srinivas, CEO South Asia of GroupM. Thank you so much for speaking to Bloomberg Quint.
Thank you for having me.
Why are you cutting down your growth rate for ad expenditure in this year to 10% from 12% last year?
Yeah, well, a couple of reasons. In fact, the economy started slowing down last year. I think even year before last, towards the end, we started seeing a lot of sectors cut back on ad spend. Last year, the slowdown was pretty apparent even from around April, May onwards. Some of the sectors that spend big bucks on advertising, like FMCG, like e-com, which was a big growth driver in the previous 2 years, started cutting down on spends. So even up to, if you look at October 2016 versus same period last year, the ADX overall wasn't growing at the same kind of trajectory. And then of course we had demonetization coming in towards the fag end of the year. So all put together, we ended up with a 12% kind of a growth in 2016. What's happening in 2017 is, the sluggishness is kind of continuing in the first couple of months, and we see things improving perhaps around April, May onwards. And we are hoping that the second half of the year is going to be pretty strong. So again, if you put all the numbers together, it's looking like a 10% kind of a growth year because of that. So to kind of sum up, I think one is overall state of the economy, certain sectoral factors, especially the sectors which contribute hugely to the ADX, and of course to an extent demonetization playing out a little bit more for the next month or two.
Okay. Which is the sector which will actually cut down on the advertising spends this year?
Yeah, if you look at the total ADX growth of around 10%, the sectors that first of all are going to grow higher than 10% are definitely going to be auto. Also the e-wallets, so in a way e-com fueled by e-wallets. We're also seeing the media sector line up a lot of campaigns, a lot of new launches coming into that space, and the government sector as well, and that includes the political parties, because it's going to be a year which will have elections. So these are the 4-5 sectors which are going to spend higher than 10% in terms of growth. But on the other hand, the sectors which are going to be growing at less than 10% are going to be FMCG. It's going to maybe be in the 6-7% kind of a zone overall as a sector. There's also going to be a slowdown from real estate, which is going to continue actually. I mean, it's nothing new, it's happening over the last couple of years. Durables again are going to be pretty muted in terms of ad spend growth. So these are some of the sectors which will pull it down. So if you look at it in balance, I think we will have I would say close to 60 to 70% of the ADX, which is going to be growing at less than average, and the balance growing higher in decent double digits.
Okay. Do we see lower new launches from FMCG and consumer durables, because of which the expenses will be down, ad expenses?
We are expecting a few new launches in FMCG as well. In fact, some of the more established players are lining up products, especially the natural ingredients and herbal kind of products. Actually, it's going to be a big year for auto in terms of launches. From whatever reports we've read, they're going to be about 25 to 30 launches across the year. And like I said earlier, it's going to be a big year for media launches as well. Media brands coming in and launching, and then of course you have the elections. So there are these events or occasions which are going to see blips in ad spend there.
Okay. Which is the medium which will actually grow at a very slow pace this year?
Well, it's all relative. The medium which is obviously going to grow the highest is digital. As per our estimate, it's going to grow at 30%. TV is going to grow at about 8% and print at about 4.5%. But the beauty about India versus other markets is, if you saw on the chart that was put up, all media are growing positive. And if you compare the number with China print is degrowing by 50% year on year. And in India, we're still talking about a 4.5% growth for print, and we're looking at print contributing close to 30% of the total ADX even today.
And also, can you answer whether companies are putting in a higher amount of their expenses towards digital?
Yeah, we've seen that over the last 4-5 years now. In fact, digital has come from almost nowhere to about 15.5-16% of the total ADX, and in the next couple of years it'll be 20% plus of the total ADX. What started with BFSI auto, and those kind of sectors which were the early adopters of digital, in the last 4-5 years has shifted to FMCG, which is spending big bucks in digital, especially with video getting a lot of traction. Most of our large FMCG clients invest quite a bit of money in video communication on digital media, which has really helped grow the medium. And with improving infrastructure, with better bandwidth, more 4G available, more smartphones available, it's only going to grow. So we see digital continuing to grow at this pace for the next few years, and like I said, become 20% plus of the ad very soon.
And what is the government ad expenditure growth rate looking like this year?
Well, the government sector, again, in the last 3-4 years has been increasing ad spend in double digits year on year. And don't forget that when we talk about government, we talk about state government, central government, all the various schemes that are announced, the public sectors, and so on. So all put together, it's been growing in double digits, and we're expecting it to continue this year as well. And of course, sitting on top of the government expenditure is also the political party advertising, which happens around elections. And given that there are going to be a lot of elections this year, again next year, state elections, and obviously going into general elections, there is going to be decent inflow coming in from that sector as well.
Thank you so much for speaking to
Thank you.
Bloomberg.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Bye.